My granny was born over there in Hull, so she was a woollyback. And my granddad was born down there in New Holland, so he was a yellow belly. So as you can see, I'm a bit of a mongrel. And where I am now is just about the yellow belly woollyback borderline, I suppose. Now, since the bridge and the creation of Humberside, the north and south bank have been united, politically at least. But I think the folk of Hull still regard themselves as Yorkshire, and I'm sure the folk down there regard themselves as Lincolnshire. I'd like to think we'll have woolly-backs and yellow bellies in our pedigrees forever. It's not all beer and skittles making these television programmes. The things you have to do. I decided to find out how much holidaymakers knew about weavers. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Anybody here?
Oh, we're on telly.
Is there anybody here who's been stung by a weaver fish?
No.
No? A weaver fish?
No.
Is there anybody here who knows what a weaver fish is?
No, sorry.
At the first aid post on the prom, Nurse Lynn Arnold spends the summer treating everything, from cuts and bruises to broken bones and weaver stings. Hello, what have you done? Not a weaver sting, is it?
No, she just cut
Ah.
sand.
Got your big toe? How did you do that?
And a rock.
Oh, you did it on a rock, did you? You do get a fair number of weaver stings, though, don't you?
Yes, we do get I've had about 6 this year.
6? Oh, yeah. And when were they?
About July.
Yeah.
June, July.
Anyway, you were very brave, aren't you? You're as good as new now. OK.
Come on. Thank you very much. Bye.
Hello. And the things they make you eat. You can't eat too many mussels, in my opinion, and I could have had them by the shovelful during my visit to the wash. But you can eat too many steak and kidney puddings, and I did just that when I went to a lorry driver's truck stop in Derbyshire at the start of the series. I had to have 3 platefuls and 2 helpings of Eve's pudding before the film crew got what they wanted. I've had my fill of cakes too, especially burnt ones straight from a red-hot oven. You probably saw take 2 last week when I was on about King Alfred in Ripon, but this was take 1. By gum, they don't usually burn the cakes in this bakery at Ripon. That was bloody hot, was that? But not all my gastronomic experiences have been so painful. We've such a rich variety of food in this country that you can't help enjoying yourself, especially if you have a sweet tooth. And perhaps the quirkiest sweet of them all, that comes from an obscure, rather insignificant plant that used to grow in profusion around Pontefract. This is licorice, source material for licorice all sorts, Pontefract cakes, things that give a distinctive flavour to Yorkshire. Well, the fields have gone now, and all that's left are ornamental clumps in the garden of Wilkinson's, one of the 2 works still working with licorice. Thousands and thousands of Pontefract cakes a day, as like as peas in pods, each stamped with its seal of Pontefract Castle. These days it's done by machine. But in the old days, Pontefract cakes were made by hand, by thumpers, the elite among the cake room girls. Pearl Yardy and Emily Thorpe gave up thumping years ago, but they've still not lost the knack. I hear that these hand thumpers were the cream of the crop round here. These were the ones who made the money.
Oh, yes. What, cake room girls could do anything. They had enough money to do so.
What about me having a go then? I bet I can't even eat them.
Oh, yes, you can. Now, you have to hold it like you're crocheting.
Like I'm crocheting?
Yeah. Nip that like that. Oh, you have to go through it like that.
That's it. Yeah, put it down on your teeth.
Hey, that's my best yet.
That's it.
That's a little one.
Oh, you're not allowed though.
Oh.
No, they're to be seen. So
You better try this because you're rubbish at that.
Right, let's have a go with the stamper. Here we go. Pontefract cakes by the million. What does the forelady think?
Not bad.
Not bad?
No,
Oh, well,
not
that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's a good one. I've done a good one.
That, yeah.
Are there any jobs going at Wilkinson's? I've been bobbing about on the wash in a mussel boat. I've been plodding uphill and downhill with a pack horse. And I've been dodging the traffic on the motorway. Here I am on a wild and windy moor. And if you're wondering what the background noise is, sit tight and all will be revealed. Because here behind me is Ken Wilde's farm, sandwiched between the lanes of the M62. Probably one of the best-known farms in Britain, the farm on the motorway. All day, all night, the traffic whizzes past, carrying every known commodity from Liverpool to Hull. There's no doubt a motorway was needed, and the M62 more or less replaces the Snake Pass and Woodhead, which were often blocked for long periods by snow. These are a lovely lot, Ken. What have we got?
Well, the white-faced ones are woodlands.
Yeah.
And the black and white-faced ones are longs.
Yeah. And one little grey Herdwick.
Yes, there's a Herdwick there. It's one of Beth's is that, so...
It's a lovely sheep, and they were famous in the old days for their abilities to produce fat lambs in time for Christmas. That must have been important then. It's not now, and everybody wants fat lambs earlier than Christmas these days. A lovely sheep, and very much a Yorkshire one. To me, lonks always seem to grow their own woolly Macintoshes. I should imagine that's absolutely waterproof. Probably never gets wet to his skin in his whole life, I would think. It's a funny one, is this, but that's what sheep are all about. They're about taking throwbacks and sports and developing them into breeds to fit different situations. I mean, you never know, this might be the sheep of the future. Down there's Ken Wilde's farm, stuck between the lanes of the M62 motorway. He lives up here all the year, and him and his farm animals cope with this weather on a daily basis. It makes a fascinating place to visit, but it's a lifestyle I think most of us wouldn't particularly envy. I'm potty about bird watching, and I'm potty about Spurn Point. And today I've got a real treat. I'm going bird watching on Spurn Point with a real ace birder, Bill Oddie. He's here to see the birds, the wildlife, and hear a bit about the history. And would you believe it, he's never been to Spurn before. The caravan site at Kilnsey Cliff occupies part of an old army fort. A nice place for a quiet holiday and a real mecca for a bird watcher and naturalist. This is my bird watching headquarters. Today I've got a special visitor, the ace bird watcher and multi-talented television star Bill Oddie. Bill's never been to Spurn before. I bought this caravan 3 years ago, and ever since then I've kept a caravan bird list.
Yeah.
Because really, you know, it's incredible. You see all sorts passing here.
Can you see watch from here?
You can see watch with the door open and sitting over there, yeah, and you've not got a bad view from the crab pot markers to the horizon.
So what's the best thing you've seen from here?
Oh, the best was 2 years ago. These oriental cuckoos were at Spurn,
oh, yeah,
first
right.
for Britain. And one of them spent half a week flying up and down that lane every morning, so that's the height of my bird list. I mean, marsh harriers regular, hobby, my hobby from here, Alpine Swift, yeah. The things you have to do.